off to something. We're live streaming. I think we're here at KubeCon and stuff. Are you? I think so. We're live. Paris, do you have to run off or can you talk for a few minutes? Okay. Okay. All right. So we are back here at. Look at the camera. At KubeCon EU. I am Matty Stratton. I'm here at the Pulumi booth, and joining me for 2 seconds.
2 seconds.
Is Paris Pittman. So, Paris, could you describe your week at KubeCon in 5 words or less?
No.
Fair point. But did you take yourself? Did you get yourself some Pulumi cat ears?
No, I didn't actually. Can I reach into the bag?
Yes, that's.
And get some cat ears.
So I think. So let's hear. Here, give me a pair.
Yes.
So this was really, actually, Paris, you blew it when I said.
What did I blow?
Well, when I said describe KubeCon in 5 words or less, the real answer is
a really great fun time with friends.
cat ears.
Oh. Shoot, cat ears.
There we go. So the cat ears has been the swag of the event, but yeah, we're sitting here at the Pulumi booth. Paris, if you have to run, that's okay.
Yeah, no, I'm going to SIG Security. Everybody check out all of the security talks this time. It's been an awesome show for supply chain security, Kubernetes security, and just all around security. So I think the show has had awesome representation there, and I can't wait to watch all the recordings. But I'm going to go give some love to Ian and Tabitha with SIG Security for Kubernetes, and check that out.
All right, thanks, Paris. All right, who's going to join me next? Hey, David, why don't you come on over here? Oh, okay, good, awesome. So again, joining me here is a developer advocate at Pulumi, David Flanagan. You may know him better as Raw Code. So David, how would you describe your experience at KubeCon EU back here in person?
In 5 words, or have I got carte blanche?
You have as many words as you want because this is our stream.
Well, I'll do the 5 words approach. It's all about the people. What I've loved here is that I've been able to take GitHub handles and Twitter profile photos and turn them into real people, and just been able to catch up and say hello to so many people, many for the first time, and many that we've not seen in 3 years. So it's been phenomenal for that.
It's been one of the downsides of kind of being a sponsor and stuff is we don't get to go to as many talks, so we'll end up having to watch them later. But I do have a talk later this afternoon. It's one of the tail end ones, but at 2:30, Whitney Lee from VMware and I will be giving a talk about charting your own course through the cloud native landscape. So it's about learning styles. One of the things I will say, it's been really, really great to see how many people have really been coming and engaging with us. I mean, the content's been amazing from what I hear. I have a lot of talks to catch up on over the next, once they come up. But just seeing when people are coming up and had questions about Pulumi and and just their awareness of it, compared to maybe before. What are some of the interesting things that people have been talking to you about with Pulumi, with Cloud Native?
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of people, a lot of excitement, especially around policy and security. A lot of the sessions have, if we look at the arcs of KubeCon over the last 3 or 4 years, we've went through that phase of where it was all about GitOps and all about GitOps. We've had a little bit about WASM, but security seems to be a really core theme this year, and policy as code, something that Pulumi really excels at, has been a really cool topic to just sit down and chat with everyone when it comes to the booth. They're excited about being able to secure their infrastructure and provide a safer platform for their developers. So that's kind of cool.
Awesome. I'm going to tag you out for a second and have Ana Medina join us from Lightstep for a moment. So Ana, welcome to PulumiVision. How has your week been so far here at KubeCon?
Hola, happy to be here. It's been a really fun week, and a lot of it is just that we get to bring our Kubernetes folks together again. And if you've been working in the space for a while, it's great to finally see everyone after a very long pandemic. And if you're just breaking into the space, it's amazing to finally be able to say, wait, I can actually go to workshops in person. I can actually mentor in person. Or that really cool person I follow on Twitter, I can actually walk up to them and say, hey, I really love all the contributions you do for such project. And that's actually really rad. And that is what makes things like KubeCon amazing. Like, not only do we have great content, an amazing hallway track of just getting to talk to folks, but just getting to see folks that contribute so much. It's really nice, and I really missed it. Getting to hang out with my friends like that. That's also been a lot of fun.
So you're at Lightstep, so observability, which a handful of people might be interested in. I don't know. Um, what are some of the things maybe in the conversations you've been having, or questions, or do you feel like it's something when you've been talking to people, they're like they really got a handle on this, or they just getting curious about it? What's the environment been like?
So light last time I was at KubeCon, I was with the Chaos Engineering Company. So we were starting to see that a lot of folks would come to us and it's like, I want to inject chaos. But sometimes like they didn't really know why their incidents were still being caused. So it's kind of interesting now where I'm coming like third week on Lightstep, and I kind of get to talk to folks about observability, and it seems like a lot of them are in this place where they're like, it's been a really hard pandemic, like having to push so many things digital. Like, we really need to have a better flow into our stack. Or our team is getting really burnt out by having so many different observability monitoring tools. How do we actually start condensing it? And we're also starting to see just a lot more love into like open telemetry, into a lot of other projects collaborating with one another to really take advantage of that and kind of really push that, like, build more reliable infrastructure forward. And we have a lot of cool vendors that allow for us to do that. But within observability, it's like things are starting to come together better. Like, I think people are having an understanding of like, yeah, my Kubernetes clusters kind of have been on fire. I think it's okay if we spend some extra money to even figure out what is going on. So yeah, for me, it's been really interesting to come at the problems from a different side of the space, but still get to the same end solution. We really want our customers to be happy and our systems to be reliable and our clusters to stop breaking.
So we've uh, been out here in the expo hall and everything. Is there anybody who's like had the like dopest booth? Like, what's the coolest thing you've seen?
Okay, hold on. I need a second to think about.
Okay, you can think about that. I will say one that I think is cool. I didn't get a chance to like try it, but so Microsoft here, because their cloud gaming all runs on Kubernetes, they've got like Forza set up, and it's set up with like the full steering wheel driving experience. And I really feel like I need to go try that. And I also do need to find out, because Chris Short, when I talked to him last week, he said he's never played Forza, but he feels like he's so amazingly good at every driving game that's ever been done that he felt he was going to dominate. So we got to find out how Chris actually did. So I think the Microsoft booth is great. I also found out last night, way too late, that the AWS booth has Diet Coke. And it was a bummer for me to find this out at the end of the conference, but that's where I'll be going after this stream.
So I actually did not know Microsoft had that. I've seen the sign that says Forza 4, and not knowing the connection of like, oh, this is actually Kubernetes involved. That's actually even rad, and I want to go check it out. But first, I feel like you just challenged Chris into you being a better Forza driver than him. But I would also say, like, I love car racing games, and like that is literally one of the best categories, in my opinion, to be playing. I got into Forza. No, I hate them. Like, it's just terrible. Like, maybe it's a too realistic experience, but I can't drive. Like, it just ends there. Like, I'm constantly crashing. But I think what you mentioned with the AWS booth having Diet Coke, I also found out they had a little Nespresso, so I'm actually headed there And I'm actually gonna go explore some of the other booths just to see what other cool things are out there.
So I mean, this is actually the real important content we're here for. So if I'm understanding correctly, you said you've played the Forza games, but you don't like them at all. But which driving game do you really like?
I'm a Need for Speed.
Okay, I mean, to me, I still go old school Gran Turismo.
Okay, I can respect that. I still think Need for Speed Underground is the best. I am okay now playing Need for Speed Heat on my Xbox. Like, I'll take it.
I feel like it's also funny to like in my head. There's still this part of me that's like talking about Gran Turismo as like OG, and I'm like, I remember when Gran Turismo like blew your mind, but um, the let's see who are. I'm also going to see if we can just find random people that they walk by. Well, you know what? While we're on it, thank you for joining for the moment. I'm going to bring in somebody else, but we have Kai. Exactly, Kai, come on in. All right, Kai, why don't you introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about your KubeCon experience so far.
Yep. I'm Kai. I'm a developer advocate at Civo, and this is my first ever KubeCon, my first big tech conference. And yeah, it's been intense, but the topmost thing for me is that it's just incredible to see people face to face and just hang out with names and faces off of Twitter and like various live streams and go like, oh, you're taller than I imagined.
That seems to be happening quite a bit. And actually, there's like a meme going around on Twitter right now, which is like, guess how tall I am. And as one of my friends said, he said, what I've learned so far is I'm very bad at guessing how tall people are. The what so Kai, you're tell maybe you've been having conversations, again, we talk about, people, the attendees, everyone has kind of different stuff. What are some of the interesting questions maybe that you're getting, or topics that, maybe caught you a little by surprise?
So Civo is a sort of cloud native platform. So we're a cloud provider that is Kubernetes all the way down. And we were in public beta for about a year and a half. And this is like the first kind of experience where we've seen people come to the booth and use our platform, that I'm able to actually physically observe them using it and going, oh, this is how you see things, because sometimes you don't see the wood for the trees. And it's just that kind of thing of seeing somebody react to stuff that we're doing in real time is just been pretty neat.
I think that's one of the things compared to, so we were at KubeCon North America in the fall, which was much smaller, as again, we were just starting to kind of get back. And seeing, for us at Pulumi, seeing how many people were coming up who were not only people who were familiar with Pulumi, but just lots of people who are users of Pulumi, who had all different kinds of questions, some very specific questions, some just like, why would I use this? But, we've had a bunch of really interesting, 2 weeks ago, we had a whole bunch of new features released. We had our big launch, and it's been kind of rad to sort of see how folks out there, when we talk to them, what are the things that are resonating, and the idea, actually the YAML support, and how you can kind of build something using YAML as a framework around it, but then have these multi-language components that create that abstraction is showing so much of the art of the possible. And I think it's been really, really great to see how engaged people are too. Like, yeah, I don't, we've been seeing tons of people coming by. It's Friday, and we still, right before we're doing this stream, I was like, I don't know if we're going to be able to do this stream, because there's so many people wanting to come to the booth. You wouldn't expect that, but they're not coming. I can tell you, they ain't coming for swag, because we ain't got any. Everyone's out of swag, because we all had to order all this stuff a couple months ago and had no idea how many people were going to be here. So it was, we have some stickers and hair ties left. But that said, come to KubeCon North America. We will have more cat ears. That I can assure you. Besides, the obviously best swag here, what's the other? Have you seen anything else kind of clever and interesting that any vendors are doing?
So Launch Darkly, it's Friday. A lot of us haven't slept for a couple of days. Launch Darkly are doing like energy drink infusion stuff, which is absolute genius.
I did not know that. So I'm going to the AWS booth to get my Diet Coke, and
I didn't know that AWS was doing Diet Coke, which is a godsend.
then I'll have to go to the Launch Darkly, and then I have a talk at 2:30, which will be a 35-minute talk that will probably be 7 minutes long as we get all the way through it. Let's see who else. So, all right, awesome, Kai. Well, thanks for popping in.
Thanks for having me.
Tim, where are you going? Well, I'm the one that has to give a talk this afternoon, and I'm the one that's going to lose the voice by talking the whole time. So we're going to let you talk. Okay. So welcome to PulumiVision, Mr. Davis. Why don't you let us know a little bit about, like, how would you describe your KubeCon experience so far?
Yeah, so KubeCon has been great for me. It's been awesome seeing so many great people here, catching up with a lot of friends. It seems there's been a lot of great sessions going on. Unfortunately, I've been in here. But it's been great as compared to like when we were in LA for the last one. You know, there was 3,000 people and most of it was vendors. It's been very, very different here. Lots of great conversations, lots of great stuff going on. So very happy to be here.
Awesome. What kind of, so at your booth, what are some of the interesting conversations you're having that maybe are catching you by surprise?
Yeah, you know, with us now having native Kubernetes support, we're having a lot of great conversations on, you know, folks that are interested in what we have to do, you know, lots of continuous delivery, continuous deployment conversations and stuff like that.
Awesome. I just saw Farrah from AWS wander by, and she doesn't know it, but I'm going to make her come get on the stream. Hey, Farrah. It's fine. Put the ears on and you'll be fine. Nobody look at Farrah's hair. Join us for just a minute. So, joined by Farrah. So, Farrah, tell me, like, you've been seeing a lot of different folks, a lot of different conversations. What we're sort of, yeah. What are some of the most interesting conversations you feel like you might have been having, or things maybe catching you by surprise here at KubeCon this week?
Wow, that's a big question. I don't know. I feel like mostly what I've heard is how excited everybody is. How excited everybody is to be back at a conference, and you know, seeing folks that they haven't seen for so long. It's actually really really inspiring just to be with people again and just kind of like talk to what everybody's been up to for the last 2 years.
We were discussing earlier about like which booths had the best stuff, and I was saying how I didn't know until last night when you told me that you had Diet Coke at the AWS booth. So, although I heard Launch Darkly has energy drinks today, so everyone's gonna be real tweaked. It'll be amazing.
Don't we think we need that on Friday though? I do. I think everybody needs a little bit of energy. I have 3 Red Bulls in my bag, so and it's Coke Zero caffeine. That's caffeine too. So.
Oh right. Well, Diet Coke has
coffee. There's coffee. There's chocolates. There's all kinds of things at the AWS booth today.
So, fun story about Coke Zero having caffeine. So, my mother barely ever drinks caffeine. It has a pretty potent effect on her. And years ago, she was over at my house and we were working on something, and we had Coke Zero, and she had quite a few. And I was like, Mom, are you sure you want more? And she goes, well, it says zero. That means zero caffeine, right? I'm pretty sure my mom didn't sleep for like 3 weeks after that. So, it does not mean zero caffeine. It's just zero sugar. So what are there any I don't know.
My brain's gone too. I can't. I barely have anything to say today. My voice is about out. I am looking at Giant Swarm, remembering the party from last night and how amazing some of these parties have been.
Well, yeah. Can we just take just a minute and then I'll let you go? So AWS hosted this open source after dark event 2 nights ago that was really really cool. What do you think it was like? Just like 2 of the really cool things about it that people might, just so if you're watching the stream and you weren't here, just so you can have full on FOMO.
Well, I think it's at the place where they film Westworld or the upcoming Westworld, and we had robot dancers, and who does not like robot dancers?
Robot dancers are always good. Well, Farrah, thanks for popping in. I'll let you go have several Red Bulls and go talk to your community, and Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Yes, Marcus, come on in. So, Marcus, welcome to PulumiVision.
Thank you very much. Glad to be here.
So, how would you, if you think about this, how many KubeCons have you been to?
So this is my first in-person one, and yeah, it's incredible. Like I've attended the virtual ones during the pandemic and stuff, but yeah, to be here in person is just a whole other level. Yeah.
Fantastic, fantastic. So yeah, so Giant Swarm, we were just talking to Farrah about the AWS party the other night. Giant Swarm had apparently like the killer party last night. You know, what was the highlight of that for you?
Just the people, all the people there, and getting to talk to everybody and have fun and relax and just kind of unwind and stuff. It was exactly what was needed. Yeah.
What are some of the, when people are coming to the booth, the conversations you're having in the hallway track and everything? Is there anything that's like standing out that maybe kind of surprised you weren't expecting to talk about?
Okay. A little bit, yeah. So I was quite surprised by the number of old financial kind of institutes and stuff that are looking to move more into the cloud native and into Kubernetes itself and things like that. And some of the challenges that they've got around that sort of thing is really interesting to hear about. There's a lot of not necessarily what was unexpected, but I've seen a lot of people talking about security. So it's a big thing this year, as it should be. There's Chain Guard here, there's Sigstore, etc. Everybody seems to be, trying to get around, to sort out their security and all that kind of thing. And yeah.
Excellent. So, our booths are right across from each other. And so I'm slightly embarrassed, but like, can you tell me what the heck you guys do?
Yeah, sure. So Giant Swarm, we offer managed Kubernetes, but we kind of offer day one production managed Kubernetes, right? So whereas you go to the cloud provider and you get their managed Kubernetes, really all you're getting is, a managed control plane, right? You can't start running in production from day one. What we do is we provide a way of creating clusters that are ready to go. So there's ingress controllers in place, there's operations stuff in place, there's monitoring and alerting. So we will monitor all the clusters, the infrastructure and stuff, and then act as the SRE team. So if there's any alerts and stuff for the infrastructure, we get paged day or night and we respond to it. If any of those issues are related to a customer's workload, which we may not necessarily have the ability to fix, we are there to help them fix it. So the kind of, the marketing spiel is we're selling peace of mind, right? We're taking away the complexity of Kubernetes so that our customers can focus on building the things that make them money. They're not making money from Kubernetes, they're making money from whatever. And that's basically what we're trying to do.
And that's really key. And that's just a good takeaway for everybody. Always focus on your differentiator. When I was, before I was at Pulumi and I was working at Red Hat, I was working primarily like helping people in the public sector. And I always would say, hey, are you the National Department of Continuous Delivery? No, right? Same thing. I work at this company. We sell shoes. We don't build pipelines, and focus on the thing that makes you special for sure. Is there anything that if someone was coming to their KubeCon for the first time, especially coming back after pandemic or whatever, maybe people who are thinking about coming to KubeCon North America in Detroit, or maybe coming next year in Amsterdam, like what advice do you wish someone had told you for your first time at KubeCon?
So take it easy. There's a lot here. There's a lot of people, a lot of talks. Don't try and do everything. Just kind of enjoy yourself, take things as they come, and talk to people. The people are what make this. It's this fantastic community, and I've got so much out of just talking with people and things like that. It's, yeah, focus on the people.
Awesome. Well, thanks for joining. I appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of your day. Make sure, I don't know, what are you doing at 2:30?
Oh, I don't know. What am I doing at 2:30?
You're coming to see my talk. Okay, so look it up on Sketch. It's in the student track. So awesome. Thank you. What's that? All right. Hey, welcome to PulumiVision.
That's it. Nice to be here. Super happy.
Awesome. So is this how many KubeCons have you been to?
Good question. Like 4?
Oh, okay, great. Well, I'm going to give you the mic. I want you to tell me, how does this compare to your previous KubeCon experiences?
That's good. So this is pretty good because the last one was virtual. So
Yeah.
compared to that, I guess that this is
that's
really
unfair.
nice.
That's an unfair comparison.
That's an unfair comparison. But I remember being in the Barcelona one and also in San Diego. And I think that this is great. Like the weather is great, the venue is great. Lots of very interesting people here, and mostly I think that I'm figuring out how this conference works. Like you're here just to meet people and just to make connection, and see great talks, but at the same time, just build these relationships. So when you go back home, you can just keep in touch. And I think that that's the most valuable part of the conference.
Awesome. Can you tell me what is, so you've been to a bunch of talks, yeah? Okay, what's some of the stuff that's like stood out that really, I know it's about the people, but also the content, because the content helps us have things to talk about. What's like really kind of stood out to you about the talks?
Yeah, so most of the things that I really like is like seeing companies sharing their expertise. There was like a very good presentation about like Mercedes-Benz and how many clusters they are migrating and keeping update. So that's really good. That's really good. Also like about platform building. How do you build kind of like these platform engineering teams that are basically creating tools for developers to be productive? And that's mind blowing. The amount of stuff that's happening in that space is huge. So
Super cool, super cool. And I think one thing that's really awesome is like the diversity of topics, so you can have a lot of, like you said, some of them are like experience, this is what we did, but then we'll have talks like yesterday I went to, Nancy Lancaster and Karen Chu about community management. And it was a really full talk, and lots of questions, because I think people, even if you're not a community manager, we're all here in a community and are kind of like, I'm really interested to know how that works.
we need to understand how that works, and also like understanding how larger projects do governance. For example, how do they basically manage infrastructure? How do they build stuff? It's pretty important, and that's not so easy to learn unless you meet these groups. You get like share ideas and share experiences.
Absolutely, absolutely. So you're a veteran of KubeCons and stuff. So if people are looking to join in the future, like what's like the key thing to always remember when you come to KubeCon?
The key thing that I remember when I come to KubeCon, I would say that just keep meeting, keep making new friends. Make sure that you check the schedule before you start the day, like when you're having breakfast, so you know exactly where you're going, because this is a pretty large conference and you need to basically plan ahead.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much. Thanks for joining us. I appreciate it.
Take care.
Yep. All right, next we got Katarina's joining us from Teleport. We do love Teleport. Welcome to PulumiVision.
Thank you for having me.
Is this your first KubeCon? You've been to lots of KubeCons.
This is my 4th KubeCon. The first one was in Seattle in 2018.
So when you're kind of looking at this event versus past ones, what to you, like, what's standing out about this KubeCon this year?
Definitely different from LA because it definitely seems more like we're back and things are happening, and it's great that we have masks and we can do it in a safer fashion, but definitely great energy in the room and a lot of excitement and great topics. So it's definitely great to be back and be able to meet everybody in person. That definitely stands out from a lot of them.
What has been the highlight of your week so far?
Definitely meeting the people. I mean, that's part of it. We're all here for community, building relationships. That's the glue of all of these technologies, in my opinion. The tech is great, but that's the people who have the challenges. You're talking to people who are trying to solve their pain points and find solutions to their problems. So even if we say it's B2B marketing, you're still talking to another human being at the end of it. So meeting people and having these meaningful conversations and interactions has been the highlight so far.
So when you're meeting people and they're coming up, like, do lots of people know what Teleport's about? Are they, what kind of is, because we've been seeing here, like at Pulumi, it's been really interesting to see the shift over time of how many folks were, I mean, obviously we had a lot of folks who were like, all right, what, you get the, okay, tell me what you do here, right? But a lot more of, oh, I've heard about this. Tell me more, or I'm using this, or I have questions, or I have this. And it seems that evolution. So like, what have the general conversations been like that you've been having about Teleport?
Yeah, so definitely, since you've asked about it, generating some buzz and folks walk in, see the booth, and they're like, "Oh, I've seen your name. I've used the community version. I'd love to learn more about enterprise." So folks are asking questions about Teleport, and I think what's interesting is every KubeCon the message is slightly different. So back in 2018, we were asking, can we run stateful applications in containers? We're talking about storage and backup, and that seems to be a more kind of more evolved space now. And security, we've also kind of folks have already kind of figured out solutions to their security issues. So now we're talking about different problems, and we're talking about developers and how do we support them. And there's a lot of complexity. How do we scale? How do we scale without breaking? So that's where Teleport kind of comes in and helping scale with the security and infrastructure access. So there are a lot of those conversations going on, and yeah, it's great to hear the feedback. It's great to hear the questions because that helps us iterate on our solution and provide better, just help the community better.
That is awesome. That is awesome. So what do you think, besides the beautiful weather, the beautiful beach, and everything like that? What's been like the most unique thing about this KubeCon?
Wow, the most unique. Well, selfishly for me, this is my fourth KubeCon, but it's the first time I've been able to attend a keynote. So that's been a highlight. I wasn't kind of frantically running around and trying to find booth, and was able to sit down, enjoy. And there was a great security keynote today. There was a great, just lots of conversation. So that was a personal highlight. But I think overall, the energy in the room, I think, is it. What's the? I mean, it's contagious. So everybody's just asking questions and wants to learn more. And I think the highlight is not one particular booth or one particular person or interaction. It's the sum of all of those interactions, and with everybody, with every single vendor, every individual, and every talk.
Excellent. Did we get you a pair of Pulumi cat ears? Did you get some the other day or no? Okay, David, can you grab her something? We will. We are. Oh, where did we? Oh, they're over here. Okay, so we were very low. We had just held a couple back for special guests. So, this has been awesome. Well, fantastic. We look forward to seeing you through the rest of it. Again, what are you doing at 2:30 today?
I am walking around and chatting with people. So
You are going to the student track, and you're coming to see my talk.
absolutely, if you tell me where it is, I will be there. I will take pictures. I'll be there.
And everybody who's watching the event virtually, make sure you tune in for me and Whitney Lee at 2:30 for charting your own course through the cloud native ecosystem towards the end. So awesome. Well, thanks so much for joining us. And do we have anybody else that? And so I think, you know what, we've had a pretty good wrap. David, you want to just join me for we'll close this up real quick. Some final thoughts. So this has been really great. This is my third KubeCon, second in person, first in person that felt like for real. First really big being back amongst the people, and it's been great to be here. And I'm hoping that my voice holds out to give my talk this afternoon because my sign language is not so great. And what are you looking forward to when you get home, David?
Seeing my kids is pretty important to me, and my wife, of course. But just being able to take some of those conversations that we've had with so many great people here, go back, collaborate, work together, show more people Pulumi, and just be a valuable member of the open source community. Hopefully.
Well, thanks everybody for tuning in, and if you're watching it later, don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, whatever the thing is on the platform that you're watching this, and we will, as always, we will see you on the internets.